Most people think choosing between the Renault 5 and Renault Clio is simple, but we're missing the key details that could cost you thousands of dollars. If you buy the wrong one, you might regret it fast. Today we're going to break down everything you need to know before making your choice. Renault's been making small cars for decades, but the Renault 5 and the Clio stand out for very different reasons. The Renault 5 has that classic retro charm that makes car enthusiasts drool, while the Clio is modern, practical, and packed with tech. But which one is actually worth your money? Over the next few minutes, I'll compare these cars in detail: performance, comfort, interior, tech, maintenance, and even resale values, so you know exactly which one to pick. By the end of this video, you won't have to guess. Here's the thing: both the Renault 5 and Clio have fans, but they appeal to completely different buyers. Some people fall in love with the Renault 5's retro look and think it's a no-brainer. Others lean towards the Clio because it's more practical and modern. But if you focus only on looks or only on practicality, you could end up with a car that doesn't fit your lifestyle. And that's the problem most buyers face. How do you choose wisely without wasting money on a car that feels great at first, but disappoints in daily life? Let us start with the Renault 5. The original Renault 5 had a cult following in the 70s and 80s. Renault recently brought it back as an electric model, keeping much of that retro vibe. Its compact size, rounded edges, and distinctive headlights make it stand out on the road. If you care about turning heads and having a car with personality, the Renault 5 wins here. Now, the Clio is a completely different approach. It's sleek, modern, and feels like a grown-up hatchback. The design isn't flashy, it's subtle, elegant, and functional. You won't get as many glances as the Renault 5, but it looks classy and doesn't feel outdated even a few years from now. Key takeaway: Renault 5 wins for personality. Clio wins for timeless, practical style. Step inside the Renault 5, and you immediately notice the retro-inspired interior. It's minimalistic, with a focus on simplicity and digital displays that mix old-school charm with modern tech. The seating is decent for city driving, but if you're planning long road trips, the Renault 5 can feel cramped, especially in the back. Headroom is okay, but taller passengers might struggle. The Clio, on the other hand, feels like a proper small family car. The seats are supportive, there's more legroom, and you get modern features like touchscreen infotainment, smartphone integration, and advanced driver assistance systems. It's more comfortable for longer drives and daily use. Key takeaway: Clio wins for comfort and usability. Renault 5 is more about style. Performance is where things get interesting. The new Renault 5 comes in an all-electric version. It's quick off the line, smooth in the city, and feels surprisingly agile due to its lightweight design. Handling is fun, especially if you enjoy zipping around town, but don't expect it to feel like a sports car on highways or twisty roads. The Clio has multiple engine options, including petrol and hybrid versions. It's not as quirky as the Renault 5, but it's reliable, consistent, and perfect for everyday driving. The Clio feels stable at higher speeds, handles corners well. The hybrid option gives you extra efficiency without sacrificing comfort. Key takeaway: Renault 5 is fun and unique for city driving. Clio is practical and efficient for everyday life. Renault is putting effort into modern tech, and both cars show it in different ways. The Renault 5 has an updated digital cockpit, smart infotainment, and some driver assistance features, but it leans on simplicity. It's more about the joy of driving than overwhelming tech. The Clio, however, offers a more complete tech package. Think adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, advanced infotainment with navigation, and connectivity options. If you're someone who loves gadgets, the Clio gives you more. Key takeaway: Clio wins for tech. Renault 5 is simpler, but enjoyable. Here's where the difference is clear. The Renault 5 is compact, perfect for city streets and parking, but cargo space is limited. If you plan on carrying groceries, luggage, or kids' gear often, you'll notice the Renault 5's limits. The Clio, in contrast, is practical. Rear seats fold flat, trunk space is reasonable, and daily errands feel easier. Simply more versatile if you need a car for more than just city fun. Key takeaway: Clio is more practical. Renault 5 is for city convenience and fun. Electric cars like the Renault 5 have fewer moving parts, which means lower maintenance in some areas. No oil changes, fewer mechanical issues, but batteries can be expensive to replace in the long run. Parts may also be slightly harder to find since it's a niche model. The Clio has been around for years, and parts are widely available. Mechanics know these cars well, and repairs tend to be straightforward. Reliability is proven, and resale value holds up reasonably well. Key takeaway: Renault 5 is low maintenance in the short term but might be tricky in the long term. Clio is proven and practical. Here's the crunch. The Renault 5 electric starts higher than a basic Clio, mainly because it's new, retro, and electric. The Clio is more affordable up front, and options like hybrid engines still keep the price reasonable. So it boils down to what you value. If you want style, exclusivity, and an electric future-ready car, Renault 5 might be worth the extra cost. If you want practicality, reliability, and proven technology, Clio gives you more value for less money. Well, let's be honest. If you're mostly driving in the city, love a car that makes you smile every time you look at it, and are ready to embrace electric driving, the Renault 5 is your choice. But if you need a car that works for almost everything: family trips, long drives, errands, tech, and comfort, the Clio is hard to beat. It's really about what matters more to you: personality and fun, or practicality and versatility. Neither is wrong, it's just what suits your life best. To sum up, Renault 5. Retro charm, fun electric drive, city-friendly, limited space, simpler tech, higher price. Renault Clio. Modern, practical, comfortable, versatile, great tech, affordable, proven reliability. Think about your priorities. You want a car that turns heads, or a car that handles everything you throw at it? That's the ultimate deciding factor. If this helped you decide which Renault to pick, hit subscribe and don't miss the next car comparison coming soon.